Well, hello everyone. Welcome to today's live stream where I'm going to show you how to create absolutely awesome, stunning, professional quality online course graphics in just one click. And we're going to use a tool called Napkin.ai. And if you're an online course creator, digital entrepreneur, you already know how important visuals are to keep everyone engaged. And what if I told you that you could create super graphics in just one click with no effort? And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So when you're creating your online course, all of your lessons, imagine it's like building a house. You've got this foundation laid, you've put up the walls, you've got the roof installed, the structure is solid, but it's missing something. The doors, the windows, finishing touches, everything to make it inviting and compelling. So this is exactly the same as when you've used something like ChatGPT to create your course content, right? You'll find you have a whole bunch of text, a whole bunch of this material put together, but it's just like a house without the finishing touches. It's really, really boring. It's ugly, even though the structure's there, everything is there. So there's some common problems that course creators face on a regular basis, and especially if you're using tools like ChatGPT and Claude to actually go and create the text or create your online courses. And I'm talking right from the syllabus all the way through all of the pieces, scripts that you use for videos, the text that you put in on the courses. The best of prompts that you use still create information for you and content, but unless it really gets dressed up and made authentic, it's going to cause a big problem for you. More importantly, the big thing here for course creators is it takes an awful lot of time to create custom graphics. It's a huge drain on your time. So, after hours of creating all of this great content, the last thing you want to do is spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure out what's the best piece of graphic that you can use. And I'll give you an example of what often happens is when you're doing this, what you find is that you go to some of the graphics kind of sites where you can use open source or free graphics, and you try and find a picture that's obviously a generic picture. You throw it in just to make it as a graphic or say that you added graphics to it. So the actual graphics that get created, if you don't do it yourself, are pretty cheesy, and more importantly, you still have to find ones that represent what you're trying to do right within the course content that you created. Now, on the other hand, if you're paying someone to do it, you have to make sure that they understand exactly what the point is they get across, plus it takes time, and it takes often a whole bunch of money to get the graphics that you think are important and be ones that you're comfortable with when you're particular using these. So it's really, really, really hard to get the graphics that you want. And especially when you don't have any design skills, right? If you need a graphic that is compelling and something that adds value to the learner or the student that's actually taking the course, to learn another piece of software and figure out how to do it and get it the way that you want, it ends up that, it looks pretty inconsistent. You may do something one way one time and another way another time. And especially if you've got multiple lessons of all sorts of content, you've got this disjointed mess of all of these kind of images that you've thrown in. And, it really gets to your branding, right? If you're going to create online courses, you want to make sure that you have the proper visuals so that your course looks cohesive and it's all put together and it looks polished. And as much as you may be doing live sessions or recording, you want to make sure that it looks as professional as you can. Now, the worst part of this, of course, is that if you don't have graphics, there's less the students are actually going to pay attention to, and more importantly, take the time to actually learn. We want to make sure that, we put it together so that the people who are taking the courses absolutely remember them. And at the end of the day, if you're just playing around with an online course where you created or used text that was generated with ChatGPT or Claude or any of the other AI tools, if you just cut and paste and put the text in, your course is going to be absolutely drop dead boring and people are not going to go through it. So this whole issue of creating content is a real big, huge hassle. So That's where a tool like Napkin comes in, because you can create these graphics in exactly one click. So you're going to have professional content, keep everyone engaged, and at the end of this video, you're going to be able to see exactly how it works. And more importantly, you'll be able to do this with any of your courses anytime with just one click. And the best part is $0. It doesn't cost anything. Napkin is free right now. It doesn't cost anything to join, from what I understand from the website. It's not something that they're charging for yet, and we'll see that in a second. So here's the first thing that I want to share with you as we're going through this. And let me just open this up for a second. The first thing is, this is drop dead easy to use. And all you have to do is basically cut and paste your text into the app. And it doesn't matter if it's something, from a Google Doc, which I'll show you. It can be stuff from a slide deck. All you have to do is copy and paste the text in. And you can copy and paste existing text. And more importantly, you can actually use the tool to create text using AI right off the start, pardon me. So really, really simple to use. It just takes your ideas, your content, and from there, all you need to do is do one actual click, and what you're going to see is automatically created graphics. So one click, and you're going to be able to see on the screen here, for example, there's a whole complete series of graphs that are ready for you right away. Okay, so these things are super, super easy. I think this is a huge change for anything you're doing when it comes to creating online courses and really stepping up your game. And the best part is, for this, you don't have to learn any prompts. Even though I've been teaching prompts for a while, all you do is click. There's nothing else that you have to do. You don't have to figure out what kind of prompt works. You don't have to figure out, am I going to use a prompt to create a graphic in another tool? And if you've ever done that before, it takes a whole bunch of trial and error. And more importantly, you may end up with a picture of a person with 6 fingers or 2 arms, and it can be really, really, really frustrating to actually do that. The best part is that after you've got this all set up, you can customize these and make it your own. So you can polish it up. And you can polish any graphic that's created because they're fully editable. And that means that any of the icons that get used, any of the things that are decorators or connectors, fonts, colors, all of that stuff is absolutely editable. And at the end of the day, when you're finished, you can take it anywhere that you want. So that means it's a URL. You can save it as a URL that people look at. It can be exported as a PDF. It can be exported as an image, and also a scalable image, scalable vector graphic as well, if you have to make it quite large or big. So how do you actually get started with Napkin? Well, let's go take a look. What I'm going to do is I copied or used a piece of text here that I generated with ChatGPT, and I just basically copied it onto a Google Doc. So I've got my Google Doc here. I got the picture that's all set up, and let me just move myself over here. I got it all set up. I just pasted it into the doc. So what I did from here is I just copied the text, and I'm logged in here, and you can see that the same text is pasted there. And when you create a new napkin, they're called napkins, you can draft it with AI if you want to, or you can do a blank one, which is what I did, and I just pasted it in. And the nice part is it'll actually create a library for you, so you can keep track all of the ones that you've done. And, if you've done multiple courses, multiple documents, all of these are available. A couple of things I'll just mention here as well. If you notice at the top of the screen, this still is in beta. They haven't officially released it yet. And there are a couple limitations to it, of course. One of the things is that right now, if you see how I'm holding up or highlighting a bit of text, you'll see there's the little spark. They call it an auto spark. And when it's creating a graphic, you can't at this point create a graphic for the entire document. You have to pick a section of the document, which is what I'm going to show you. That's one thing. The other thing is you can add comments while you're actually working on this. And that means that you're going to be in a position that if you don't remember why you did it, or you're thinking about why you want to do it, or if you have variations perhaps that you were thinking about or ideas that you wanted to think about, you can put some notes in for yourself or in fact for other team members. They've got help right down here in the bottom of the screen if you do need help. And you can also see in the top red right-hand corner here, we've got the ability to actually share this particular document with some views. And there's also the download PDF and the copy link here. So let's go back to our document, and this is the part that actually shows how it works. So I've got this reduced preparation time, and if I move my mouse just to the left of it, you'll see that little auto spark. So I'm going to do a left mouse click on that, and what happens? We automatically get graphics. That was one click only, and we have a graphic based on the text that was in the actual spark here. And it's in context to what's being talked about. Now, if you go take a look at this, you can see there's a ton of styles. And if I just pick one, I can scroll through and see which of these particular styles best represents the text that I'm highlighting, or the lesson that I'm creating, or the online course that I'm using, and which one is best fit. And these ones are ideally suited if you're doing any kind of course that doesn't necessarily need a picture of something, but if you're showing processes or ideas, or more importantly, you're trying to get people to be able to remember things that you're teaching in your content. So you can see the number of different ideas here. We've got there's some brace charts, we've got some maps, we've got some quadrants here. You can see how to deliver the presentation. We've got versus styles. There's tons of them that are available to you to pick from here, which is really, really cool. And you can go through, they're adding new ones all the time. Again, visual elements added to your courses are going to make a big difference, not only on the way that you're branding it, but you can pick consistent styles or alter the different ones, but you're going to have a really well put together course. And I'm going to go through these just because there's a couple little pieces here. And let's pick this one. I'll pick this one just as an example, because if you notice on the little spark that I'm looking at here, that little style, what I want you to do is I want you to, when you're playing around with this, and again, remember, it's free to sign up, I'm just going to do a left mouse click on styles and watch what happens. We immediately get the ability to change the different styles that are available for the type of graphic that we did. This is pretty flippy stuff, because if you have branded colors, if you have branded fonts, all of that stuff that is really interesting to you, it's easy to put together and in fact change. And I'm talking about the icons, the colors, the text styles, the actual text, everything is editable. So I'm just going to click this one, and another kind of little information comes up, and it allows us to go and, for example, change the text. If we don't like the style, if we have to change the exact text, the fonts, anything that we want to do, sizes, whether it's bold, etc., colors, it's all available for us to do that right here. And here's the other kind of thing that's really nice here is if I go and highlight this, you'll see that one of the different little drop-down arrows there, that little drop-down one, if we want to just copy a piece, just a piece of this particular graphic that's been created, we can output it or save it as a PNG, an SVG, scalable vector graphic, I'm pretty sure that stands for, and then a PDF. And again, we can change the style from here as well. So if I want to go and play around with the different styles or different fonts that get used with it, the little icons, it's easy to do, or change colors to any of the particular pieces. This is a drop-dead simple way to create graphics, and all that we've done here, it's one click, and that's all that there is. So, you know, when we're playing around with these and I'm just going, okay, great, what are we gonna do here? How are we gonna, you know, have this particular piece? If I have my graphic, I look at it from here, I can output my document, but more importantly for online course creators is if I'm playing around with this and I'm really, really happy with what I have, all I need to do is download the entire graphic as a PDF. So I now have a graphic that I can cut and paste and put in to my course, whether it be a course that's on Teachable or LearnDash with your WordPress site. Everything is set up there for you, allowing you to really game up your AI created content. This is something that I think everyone should consider doing when they want to create online courses, especially if they're AI generated, dry, boring courses, or even if they're ones that you've put together. This is going to save you a ton of time and a whole bunch when it comes to making sure that your courses are professional. So if you have any questions about this or some ideas about graphics, make sure to drop them in below. And when you're ready, all you have to do is go to Napkin.ai and sign up to have a free account. And let me know what kind of graphics you'll be generating for your course. What's the biggest challenge for you when it comes to creating these visuals for your online course? Again, let me know in the chat there. And if you're new here, don't forget to sign up to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll continue to try and help you start, build, and grow your education business by creating online courses, building your own training site, and getting people started with your courses and or tutorials and all of that great stuff that you just love sharing. My name's James Maduke. Hope you join me again in another video. We do these every day. They're all live streams ready to go, and I hope you sign up for Napkin.ai and start creating your courses today. Take care and expect the best.